Before we leave Estella, we're trying to get our credenziales stamped at a church, and we picked up Mary from Ireland. She's trying to find a church with us. And the only reason we know directions is because Abby just flagged down a Spanish man on the street and began asking him directions. So we'll see if we arrive at a church. These like little lock thing, iron thing, there's two of them.
Oh,
They
yeah.
rise up out of the ground
Yeah.
and make a barrier so they can block traffic from the street. So they can block the traffic when they want to.
I'm gonna go.
This morning there are cars. To get a stamp at a church, we accidentally got sent on a wild goose chase by a very kind and well-intended Korean lady who sent us on a wild goose chase. So we've stopped here to get some coffee and a little bit of fuel. Can't find any eggs this morning to go climb a mountain. The Church of San Pedro de la Rua in Estella, and it was begun in the 12th century. It has an irregular shape because of the hillside that it's sitting on and the cramped piece of property it's on. Inside the church, where we will get our credenziales stamped. Inside the church. It's really beautiful. The ornate treasures in here are just incredible. Let's see if we can get in. That azul paint, the blue, is supposed to be a precious color. Abby's getting a Spanish lesson from the ladies at the church.
Venir a vivir a España para hablar español, para aprender español, aprender en España.
To learn in Spain?
En España,
Sí.
aquí, quieta, a estudiar.
No, no.
Un año, aquí,
Moriría.
morirías.
Sí.
¿Por qué?
Because,
Por no ver su mamá. ¿Eh?
sí, mi
Muy-
mamá moriría porque...
No.
De pena, de pena,
No.
de pena.
Vienen aquí a Pamplona
¿sabes?
muchos estudiantes extranjeros, muchos, a Pamplona,
Qué maja.
Mi mamá...
a estudiar,
Tu mamá que se venga contigo.
¿eh? A la universidad.
Garden area within the church grounds. This looks like something you see on these movies of I don't know. We are leaving Estella and we're well rested. We have a plan to slow down and try to enjoy the Camino without quite so much fatigue. Here's an intersection.
Arrow.
Yeah, but look what the arrows do. They turn, and then there's one right here on this wall. See if I can, you see it? That's what we look for the whole way we walk. Sorry about the jumpy video. This close-on works. It retracts toward and away from the window, so you can load up clothes, retract it out, or expand it out, load up more clothes, expand it on out. Pretty clever, huh? No clotheslines. Abby's calling a dog she sees. It's like an iron worker. Oh, there's a stamp to be had here. It's very pretty. I came across this blacksmith with just this open-air shop, and he does all these incredible sculptures. They're sort of modern. Abby's going to buy a little necklace cruz, which is cross in Spanish. It's the shell with cross on it. And he's told us in a different region, the shell is actually more like a duck's foot. I'm sorry, the cross is more like a duck's foot. I don't see one right now. He held a piece of paper, but I don't see it. But he has so much stuff. And of course, it's like a Viking ship. Look at this elaborate. But we are walking and can't carry anything. Grant, you have no idea how heavy my 16-pound pack is, and Abby's 12-pound pack. It's just so heavy. But anyway, we can't buy any ironworks except maybe the little necklace, because everything else is too heavy for us. Look at these old doors and keys. Apparently he makes keys to old door locks. Really quite a lot. Here's a whole tree. And here he is out here working with his fire. It's beautiful. Very interesting. What do you make? Are you making something? You make?
Sí, estoy haciendo. Mira, estas. Un bastoncillo para los peregrinos.
Ah, sí, sí. So he's making a staff for one of his little peregrinos. He has to warm it in the fire first. Yeah, great. Gracias.
Entonces, estos. Mira, sacado.
And there's the finished product.
Diferentes, todos.
Gracias. This particular sculpture is a sculpture of the men who were building that photograph of the men building the building in New York where they're all sitting out on the beam. So here we are in Spain, and this guy has an iron sculpture of the guy sitting out on the beam in New York eating lunch. The fountain at Irache that distributes wine rather than water. So that's quite a monastery. Climbed up out of Estella, and we've passed Irache where the wine fountain was. And I just looked behind me to this beautiful, stunning scenery. And once again, we're walking through wine country. Here's our track today. And it's going through wine country. And we'll see some shade coming up. Pretty grateful for that. You see the yellow arrow on the tree? It directs us. Oh, we do love the shade. Isn't this a pretty path? Nice track underfoot. Trees make a nice little canopy over the trail. It's a pretty walk this morning up this mountain. We continue to climb. I'm really grateful for the clouds. We're heading for a village called Villamajor, and it's only about 3 miles away. But we have to go up and over the mountain. In the shadows here, but we have reached the little village of Sept, and we are taking a lunch break before we climb the last mile to our village. Stop it! What's it? Okay, read it to me. Read it to me.
After careful consideration of your application, I am sorry to inform you that we are unable to offer you a place in the class of 2019. This year's application pool was the strongest in the college history, and we are unable to offer administration to every student regardless of their proficiency in dank memes or their level of select money. Although your GPA and ACT scores were certainly up to our standards, your essays raised some eyebrows. At the administration meetings, for certain references, not wise to start an essay with the words. Listen up, you little slangs. Listen up, what? Listen up, you little slangs. And end with negain out. Drops mic.
Drops
We also didn't need a copy of your mixed name because of our fire. What admission counselor actually listened to it, and we are pretty sure 40 minutes of you making was not fire. In addition, we will be returning your copy of Grumps by Chandler Angela Merkel because you said it's letters from teachers because it's your greatest possession and we don't want it. We also suggest obtaining recommendation letters from your teachers or trusted mentors, not my number 4 site. Not our trusted mentors, not my number 4 side hoe, Derek. Or Chef Keith.
Bye bye.
A picture of a dinosaur drawn in crayon on a rolling paper. We greatly appreciate your interest in Harvard, and we offer our best wishes of success as you pursue your educational goals. Oh, I can't breathe. My eyes are burning. I have mascara.
These people love to garden their terraces. And it's so pretty. These are big rocks along this wall. Somebody would have had to have toted those all the way up here. They're big old rocks. We are almost to Villamajor. You can see the church steeple. And that's the end point for us today. And it's only mid-afternoon. We came upon this stone. I'm not even sure what it is, but when you look down in there, and this probably will not show on camera, there's a number of steps that go down, and there are actually goldfish down in the water. See if you can see those. Kind of down it. Yeah, you can. See the goldfish in the water? So I don't know what this is. Maybe a place to wash feet or a baptismal pool, or I really have no idea. I don't think the Spaniards practice sunken baptism. I don't know. Entering Villamajor, and it's such a pretty little town. It's like a cafe and church. Very pretty little town. Oh, fruit market. Gotta go. This is a busy little market. We got fruits and boiled eggs and lemonade. And there are a lot of bikers in town.
Did you get the salt?
Yes. An idea for an adventure. Hampton and Grant, you all can bike across Spain.
E-bikes. Those are e-bikes.
So boys, these are e-bikes. They have an assistance motor on them, and if you pedal, they actually help you get up the mountains. These guys were just telling me they're from Puerto Rico. So they rent these bikes when they get over here. They don't try to fly their bikes over. Now that would be a cool adventure, especially if it had an assist on it. It's our room for the night in Villamajor. It's a bunk bed. Thank goodness for our comforters. And we have our own private bathroom. It's a small room, but that's okay. And I'm proud of the bathroom in there. Nettie's taking a shower. But I'm proud of this one because this is the first place I called in Spanish and tried to make a reservation in Spanish. You know, the phone rings and you say, hola, hablo español, hablo inglés, and they say a little bit. And from there I was able to make a reservation. So I'm pretty pleased with myself. Anyway, this is our room for tonight.